Hi, welcome to another edition. I review movies, and this week you're in for a treat. It's called The Wildlife, and it features Denise Richards as well as Matt Dillon. That's Kevin Dillon's brother, and they're from New Rochelle, New York, which is pretty cool. It's a 1984 American coming-of-age comedy drama film directed by Art Linson. Art Linson is a great director. Everyone should know Art Linson. It was written by Cameron Crowe. Cameron Crowe's a great writer. Everyone should know him. The film stars Chris Penn, Leah Thompson, Elon Mitchell Smith, Jenny Wright, Eric Stoltz, Rick Moranis. He's great. I believe he's a Chicago kid, actually. Moranis, I believe. Also, Randy Quaid and Hart Bachner is Canadian, as well as Rick Moranis, who is also Canadian. Um, the plot concerns three teenagers living in the suburbs of LA, the place where I used to live and call home. Bill, Eric Stoltz, had just graduated from high school. We'll call it Fairfax High School. And he got his first apartment. We'll call it Apartment A. His younger brother, Jim, who is who is fixated on Vietnam and the Vietnam War, spends a lot of time practicing with the non-Chachakas. They're getting high, listening to heavy metal on his boombox, and hanging out with Vietnam vet Charlie, Randy Quaid. Other important characters include Tom, Christopher Penn, a hedonist. Hedonists don't harm you, but they're crazy. And he's also a high school wrestling champ, played by Christopher Penn. They work at a bowling alley. Uh, Rick Moranis' name's Harry, and Harry is a trendy department store manager. We'll say that he works at Ace. It's a helpful place. But Bill's ex-girlfriend, not Bill Schultz, but Bill in the movie, his name's Bill in the movie, played by Eric Stoltz, not Bill Schultz once again. But he works at a department store with Harry. And anyway, it's kind of weird, but it's a fling with a cop named David Hart Bachner. It's Canadian. Who, unknown to Anita, is married. It's a married cop. It's not good. It's adultery. Shouldn't do it. The three boys set out for a night of fun and craziness at a strip bar. That's where girls get naked. And later on, have plenty of fun at Bill's apartments. The soundtrack is pretty good. It features hits by Bananarama. They sing the great song "Cruel Summer," which is one of my favorites. And sometimes it's playing in Starbucks, like when you walk in and you're like, "Hey, can I get a iced chai?" And you go, "Bananarama, nice." Anyway, the single peaked at number 70 on the Billboard Hot 100. They have a song with the same name of the film called "The Wild Life." Eddie Van Halen, rest his soul, wrote and performed the score for the film, but was unable to finish mixing due to Van Halen's touring schedule and Diggle DeRoth's coke and left that task to the band's long-term engineer, Don Landy. I met Don Landy. Great guy. The instrumental Donut City was the original Eddie Van Halen composition appearing on the official soundtrack album. The film's soundtrack included many of included songs from Prince, great guy, rest his soul, Madonna, Madonna, Andy Summers, Little Richard, Van Halen, Billy Idol. It's a really good Brit. Billy Idol. Like when you think of Britain, I think a lot of people think of Billy Idol. I wish they wouldn't. Steppenwolf and Jimi Hendrix. But I like Billy. What can I say? He's the wedding singer, Billy Idol. That scene then on the plane was fantastic. I always thought I was going to be like a love scene like that, like some time in my life, and it would just be like it's kind of a fantasy line. It's like The Notebook. How many times does The Notebook actually play out? Right? It's like I could be like that guy that creates the Facebook because I can't get over this girl, and then I get that girl back, and it's kind of like The Notebook, right? But that girl's long gone. You know, it's just like it's not, doesn't happen in actualities, in reality, and that's actually not the film I wanted to review. But let's go back to the film I wanted to review. But that was a good one. That's called The Wildlife. This is totally different. This is called Wild Things. And Wild Things, you might know it because I believe for you younger adults, it was on Wild Things was on Netflix, and Netflix is great because you can watch films on Netflix, and sometimes they have good films and a lot of indies, which are cool. You know, like stuff by the Duplass brothers. Also, one of my favorites by with not with the Duplass brother, but with Greta Gerwig, Francis Ha. Fantastic film. So many honorary degrees. Anyway, Wild Things is a 1998 American neo-noir crime thriller film remake of the 1985 adult erotic comedy of the same. Did not know that, but a lot of people will be looking that up tonight. If a lot of people watch this, which they don't, but if they did, they would be like, "Oh yeah, got to jump on that." 1985 adult erotic, which is disgusting and gross. But I think it would be softcore if it was from '85. Yeah, so it'd probably be okay. But it was directed by John McNaughton and stars Matt Dillon, Eve Campbell, Kevin Bacon, Denise Richards, who's who's a looker in this one. She's like, honestly, those eyes in this film, those eyes are just. If you don't think Denise Richards is sexy in this film, like you're probably not attracted to her, which is fine. Or attracted to women, which is also fine. But Bill Murray's in it. I think doesn't sound right. I don't remember his part exactly. In South Florida, a high school counselor is accused of rape by two female students, but the police officer investigating suspects something. Oh, that's one of those words you're supposed to say, not suspects, but suspects something more is going on. The film gained notoriety for its sex scenes, including a scene between Campbell and Richards, and another depicting a threesome between the two actresses and Dillon. So yes, very sexy movie. But it's also it kind of explores the idea of where do I go and what kind of people am I attracted to? Sometimes it's two girls. Sometimes it's just one woman. I prefer that personally at my age. Um, Now I'll review the plot. It's a good plot. One of the best plots I've seen. Miami area high school guidance counselor Sam Lombardo, that's Matt Dillon, is accused of rape by two female students, wealthy and popular Kelly Van Ryan and poor outcast Susie Toller. He hires lawyer Kenneth Bowden to defend him. Kenneth Bowden, great guy. At the trial, both of the girls admitted having lied to get revenge on Sam, so they lied. Susie for his failure to bail her out of jail on a minor drug charge, and Kelly for his affair with her mother. So it's kind of wild, right? It's already pretty wild, yeah. Kind of goes with the name of it. I thought there was more to this movie, and now it just seems like a bunch of sex and pretty gnarly. Um, I like the sentence a lot. In the pool, Susie attacks Kelly. They fight, but eventually end up kissing, which is always nice. While watched by Ray, unbeknownst to them. So Ray was watching, kind of creeping, but I guess it's not really creeping if you're all friends, right? A few nights later at the beach, Sam apparently kills Susie. Well, holy shit. They drive to the swamp. That's not really Gator's play, that's literally a swamp, where Sam disposes of the plastic wrapped body. That's not to say there might not be gators there, but I'm talking about the swamp people think of like Florida football. But it's not that swamp because it's a movie and it's set in probably the Everglades. And who the FBI is currently just searching far and wide right now, apparently. In other news, several scenes during the credits fill in missing details. Very important. It's about the details. The five co-conspirators are Susie Toller, Sam Lombardo, Sergeant Ray Duquette, Kelly Van Ryan, and attorney Kenneth Bowden. Bastard. Susie is revealed to be the ultimate mastermind of the plot as she alone sails off into the sunset. So it is kind of it ends kind of noir, yeah. It's got a noir kind of vibe at the end. Is that what they described it as at the beginning? Yeah, neo noir. Yeah, I would probably call it that. Yeah. She used a pair of pliers to pull a tooth out of her own jaw, which for a woman is a lot like eating a sandwich. if they're really sexy, you don't imagine them doing it. They do it. Um, I've seen women at Subway before, and they do buy sandwiches. I would imagine they eat them. But pulling your own teeth, that's like a whole other level. Same kind of concept though. You don't really want to visualize it. It's like, yeah, go to the dentist. Give somebody I know that's a dentist actually, former quarterback, Chase Kaufman, and he would have taken care of it, but it's a movie, so. Finally, Kenneth gives her a briefcase full of cash that he describes as just walking around money and a check for millions of dollars. Wow. Because we all have kept millions of dollars on. As she leaves, he tells her to be good. And I think that's really what it's about. And Kevin Bacon plays Sergeant Ray Duquette, and he's doing a great job with his show in Boston. It's City on a Hill. It's a great little show. I think it's got 2 seasons now. Although when they went to the project scenes, I was not fond of that. It just got too kind of dark for me, if you will. But I think Kevin Bacon does a great job, and I think the actress that is the mom on the project does a great job. But it's just so far fetched for me. I can't get into that. I wish they wouldn't have gone that dark with it. But Kevin Bacon does a great job. But anyway, and this is good too. It's called so fun fact. It's called Wild Things. But the fun fact is that actually Robert Downey Jr. was the first choice for the role of Sam Lombardo, which was given to Matt Dillon. Um, I guess what happened was it was an insurance risk because he was in recovery. I think he did a lot of cocaine, and so pretty crazy. Um, and I did not realize that tornadoes can actually come to the Everglades. You think of South Florida, not really too many tornadoes, but they can come through there apparently. A tornado almost crushed a couple of trailers. So McNaughton said production had to be halted, and the police called when a real dead body floated into the den. It's crazy. So that's that. Um, and that's another week of movie reviews. I reviewed Wild Things and another Wild, The Wild Life. Two very different movies, but one I favor the soundtrack, and the other one is just kind of an art neo noir film. And I think they're both great, and I think they might be on Netflix or something. Who knows? What else? Yeah, I don't know. Next week we'll review the film that is on Showtime right now. Actually, is it still on Showtime? I'm trying to see, but yeah, maybe not. Well, we'll review something. Oh, Mulholland Drive, David Lynch, one of my favorites. And we'll get to that next week. And by next week, I probably mean if I have some free time in the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, tomorrow, 3 days from now. Not really sure. All right.